Hello students, how are you? I hope all of you are safe and healthy at your home. Student, as you know that your half-yearly exams are fast approaching, so this is your revision class and today I am going to revise theme 5 industries. Industries, the term industry means any productive activity in any sphere of life. So, why we need the industry? Need for industry in the world for so many reasons. First, industries make a country financially strong. The larger the number of industry a country has, the stronger it becomes. We consider countries such as the USA and China strong because of the hundreds and thousands of industries. Second, why we need the industry? Second is industries provide products of daily use. If you look around your house, you will see items that use every day, such as toothpaste, soap, your bicycle, exercise books, pencils, medicines, and food items. All the things are made in industries. So industries are necessary for us. And third is industries ensure there is no shortage of necessary goods. Apart from fulfilling our daily needs, industries also provide sufficiently so that all the things we need are available to us that are reasonable price. Now children, let's revise the classification of industries. So students, industries are generally classified on the basis of size, ownership and raw material. So first we study about the classification on the basis of size. On the basis of size, first is cottage industry. As the term suggests, a cottage industry is generally a household unit run by a family. The craftsmen and their family members carry on the traditional work started by their forefathers generations ago. Such industries generally produce all kinds of handicrafts, handloom products, jewelry, pottery, leather products, etc. So, these industries are called the cottage industry. Second industry, which is classified on the basis of size, is a small scale industry. These are much larger in size than the cottage industry but smaller than the large industry. In term of the number of people employed and capital invested, these industries use machinery, power and external labor for production. Electronic goods, sports equipment, bicycle, toys, etc. are produced by small scale industries. And the third is large scale industry. Large scale industries involve huge investments, professional management and a large force of skilled and unskilled labor. Big power driven machines are used with considerably automation. So students, these classification of the industries: cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industry. This is classified on the basis of size. Second classification of industry is basis of ownership. So first is public sector. Public sector industries in the public sector include all the units owned by either central or state government or their agencies. Governments own most of the heavy industries such as iron and steel, coal, oil, etc. They are called public sector industries. As the public or the people of the country can invest in them through shares or bonds. For examples, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited and India Oil Corporation Limited are well-known industries in the public sector in India. Second is private sector industries. Private sector industries are owned by individuals or group who arrange the funds, technical expertise and other resources to set up an industry. Reliance Industries, Tata Steel and Godrej are well-known examples of private sector industries. So, public sector industries are the government industries, government-based industries, and private sectors are owned by individual groups of people. For example, Reliance, Tata and Godrej are a private sector industries. But public sector industries, Bharat Heavy Electricals and Indian Oil Corporation Limited, these are the public sector industries. Third classification of the basis of ownership is joint sector industries. Industries which are joint owned by the government and private entrepreneurs or private companies along to the joint sector. A good example is Maruti Udyog Limited, makers of cars. It is jointly owned by the government of India and the Suzuki company of Japan. So joint sector industries are the combination of the public sector and private sector. It is called the joint sector industries. And last, cooperative sector industries. Cooperative sector industries are owned by a group of individuals who form their own society. Members of these cooperatives shares the profit earned by the company. The dairy sector, sugar mills and the handloom sectors generally operate in this manner. So these industries, public sector, private sector, joint sector and cooperative sector industries, these are the basis of ownership. First is on first classification of the basis of size. In the basis of size, cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industry. Second classification on the basis of ownership. First is public sector, second private sector, third joint sector and fourth cooperative sector industries. Last and third classification of industries is the basis of raw materials. Raw materials, based on the raw materials used, industry can be classified into four categories. First, agro-based industries, pastoral industries, forest-based industry and mineral-based industry. So in agro-based industries, these industries process agricultural produce like sugarcane, cotton, jute, vegetables and fruits and jams, textile, potato chips, vegetable oils and sugar are products of these industries. Because agro-based industry, in agro-based sugarcane is a raw material and what we produce from the sugarcane, we produce the jams, sugar from sugarcane. And second is pastoral industries. Pastoral industries are the industries that derive their raw material from animals. And third, forest-based industries. Forest-based industries are based on forest products. The packaging industry, furniture industry, sports goods industry, etc. come under this category, forest-based industry. And last is mineral-based industry. These industries are based primarily on minerals mined from beneath the earth crust. Industries producing iron and steel, petroleum, cement, lead, etc. come under this category. Most of these are large scale industry, means mineral based industries are the large scale industries. Now students, let's revise the theme 6, renewable and non-renewable energy resources. So what are resources? A resource is something that can be used to satisfy human wants. For example, air, water, minerals and forests are different kind of resources. So there is two types of resources, renewable energy resources and non-renewable energy resources. So first we will revise the renewable energy resources. Renewable energy resources are energy resources that can be regenerated after use in a relatively short span of time, such as solar energy, hydroelectricity, tidal energy, geothermal energy, wind energy and biogas. So renewable energy resources are these types of resources that we can reproduce after its use. So as solar energy. Solar energy is the energy we receive from the sun. It is readily available in nature in unlimited quantities. Solar energy is used to generate electricity. Second is hydroelectricity. The word hydro means water, and hydroelectricity is the energy obtained using water. It is produced when water falls from a height under the force of gravity. The falling water is used to turn the wheels of a large turbine that generate electricity. So hydroelectricity is also a renewable energy resources. And next is tidal energy. Tidal energy is an inexhaustible source of energy. It is energy generated from the ocean tides. High tides in coastal areas are used to generate power. Tidal energy is generated free of cost. India's geographical location with ocean and seas on three sides and a big coastline is definitely a big advantage of this regards, and the country can benefit from the free gift of nature. So this is also a renewable energy resources. And next is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the energy generated by harnessing the heat in the interiors of the earth. And next, wind energy. Wind, like the sun, is nature's gift to us. It is free and widely available. Wind is used to produce electricity, which people the world over greatly depend on. When the wind blows, it turns the three large blades of the windmill, which are attached to a turbine. The turbine, which is connected to a generator, convert the energy of the wind into electrical energy. And the last renewable energy resource is biogas. Animal waste and all other kinds of organic waste material generated by households each day are converted into biogas. This gas is an excellent source of cheap power for small scale uses. Next is non-renewable energy resources. Non-renewable energy resources are the ones that take millions of years to regenerate and do not repair during the lifespan of human beings. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas, these are the non-renewable energy resources. So first non-renewable energy resource is coal. Coal is a hard black mineral that is found below the earth's surface and is burned to produce heat. Coal formation began when plant matter was buried under layers of sediment millions of years ago. Over a period of time, due to intense pressure of overlying sediment and heat, the buried vegetation gradually metamorphosed into coal. So, because becomes to formation of coal is take so many years. So, it is a non-renewable energy resource. So many years means hundreds or millions of years it will take. For example, 650 million years take for become a coal. And coal are four types. So there is a four types of coal. First is anthracite. Anthracite is the best quality of coal because it contains 90% of carbon. And second is bituminous. Bituminous coal is the second best coal with 65 to 70% of carbon. And third is lignite. Lignite is poor quality coal with a carbon content of around 60% of carbon. And third, peat. Peat has very little carbon, is not fully formed and gives little heat and a lot of smoke on burning. So there is a 4 types of coal: anthracite, bituminous, lignite and peat, and the best quality coal is anthracite. Second non-renewable energy resource is petroleum. Petroleum is the most important fuel in the world. It is also known as a crude oil. It was formed millions of years ago due to the compaction of the remains of dead plants and animals. Petroleum is refined to produce diesel, petrol and kerosene. So this is also a non-renewable energy resource. Third is natural gas. This resource is generally associated with the petroleum belt. Gas is transported over great distance by pipelines. Its byproducts are used in the agriculture and industrial sector. And the fourth non-renewable energy resource is nuclear power. Nuclear power is also known as atomic energy. The disintegration of radioactive elements such as uranium and thorium releases nuclear power. Nuclear power is the energy obtained either through fusion or fission. So students, these are the non-renewable energy resources, and because the information of these resources are taking so many times, so these are the non-renewable energy resource. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas and nuclear power. These are the non-renewable energy resource. Now let's study about the hydroelectric projects in India. One of the most important ways in which electricity is generated in India is through the numerous hydroelectric projects that have been built over the last 70 years since the time of independence. India ranks 4th after China, the USA and Russia in terms of the numbers of dams. Some of the important dams are here. Dams in India are: first is Bhakra Nangal Dam. It is built on the river Satluj in Himachal Pradesh and it is the largest dam in India. Which dam is the largest dam in India? Bhakra Nangal Dam is the largest dam in India and it is built on the Satluj river in Himachal Pradesh. Second is Damodar Valley project. It is built on the river Damodar. It includes a number of dams that provide water for irrigation to the West Bengal. Third, Farakka barrage. It is built on the river Ganga in West Bengal. It supplies water to the West Bengal and Bangladesh. Fourth, Sardar Sarovar Dam. It is built on the river Narmada. It provides water to the dry areas of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Fifth is Hirakund Dam. Hirakund Dam built on the river Mahanadi in Odisha and is the longest dam in India. So student, Bhakra Nangal Dam is the largest dam in India, but Hirakund Dam is the longest dam in India. And last is Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. The Nagarjuna Sagar Dam on the river Krishna is located on the border between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So these are the some hydroelectric projects which are found in India. So students, it's all for today. Your revision has been completed. Do revise and learn all the chapters thoroughly. Thank you.